Hello, 5th graders. Welcome to lesson 11.9, Line Plots. Let's get started. Today's objective is I can use a line plot with fractional data to record frequency by organizing data on a given line plot with 100% accuracy in multiple attempts. Please pause now to type the I can and by statement into your digital math notebook. All right, friends, lately we've been talking a lot about line graphs. Today we're going to talk about line plots. You've seen these diagrams before. You might also have heard them by the name dot plot. Let's try one with me. The problem says Miss Jones organized the snack list for the softball team. She asked the players and the parents what they liked. And here's the data. So in our data, you could see we have chips, we have cookies, brownies, and popcorn. And for chips, 30 people said they liked chips. Cookies was 15 people, brownies was 12, and popcorn was 21. So in order to organize that data into a graph, we're going to look at how often, the frequency, something comes up. So we're going to take our data from this table over here and we're going to move it into a data table over here. So our first data table is going to be chips. And chips had 30 people. Our next one was cookies. And cookies had 15. Our next one was brownies. And that had 12. And our last one was popcorn, and it had 21. So in order to make some meaning of these things, we're going to graph it. And on our little dot plot here, I'm going to take all the names of the chips or the snacks and write them along the bottom. So first we had chips, then we had cookies, then we had brownies, then we had popcorn. Now, I don't want to draw 30 lines for every time that I had a chip, but I'm going to use a key. So I'm going to make each X that I draw going to be worth 5. So if I have chips, and that's 30, then 6 times 5 is 30. So above chips, I'm going to put 6 X's to show how often chips occurs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, cookies had 15, so that means that 5 times 3 is 15, so it will only get 3. Brownies has 12, and 12 isn't exactly divisible by 5, but I can do 5, 10, and then I'll do half. So that tells me that I don't have a full 5, but I'm still counting it. And then for popcorn, I have 21, so 5, 10, 15, 20, and I'll do one side. So you can see by taking our data and plotting the frequency, you can see that more people wanted chips than anything else, with popcorn following behind. Let's try a problem together. In this problem, it says, Zach recorded the amount of sleep the kids in his class got last night. In hours, the amount recorded are 7, 10, 9, 8, 8, 9, 10, 8. Zach is making a dot plot of the data. How many dots should he mark over the 10? So we are in your digital math notebook, and you can see a copy of this. But what we're looking at is how often data occurs. So if I look at the number 7, then I see 7 only happens once, which is why 7 only has 1 dot. If I look at the number 8, it happens 1, 2, 3 times, which is why it has 1, 2, 3 dots. The number 9 occurs 1, 2 times, so it has 2 dots. And by crossing off our data, we can see that the number 10 occurs 2 times. So it should have 2 dots. 1, 2. Now, it's important to know that when we look over here at our possible options, that our answer is not 20, even though there's 2 10s, because our question said how many dots should we mark. So even though 10 plus 10 is 20, our answer is 2. And our answer is not 10 because even though it's worth 10, we're not going to make 10 dots. Question number 2 says how many kids slept for 8 hours or less? All right, so a question like this is telling us to look at the amount that happens this way, because 8 hours is okay and less than 8 hours is okay, but more than 8 hours is not. And we want to count the amount of kids, so that would be the amount of dots. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 kids, because 3 kids slept 8 hours plus 1 kid plus 7 hours gives us 4 kids who slept 8 hours or less. Pause now to type in any work you need to show in your digital math notebook. All right, friends, time for our lesson activity. Our lesson activity says, Nathan makes a frequency table to record the types of birds he saw while bird watching. How many more times did Nathan see pigeons compared to how many times he saw canaries? Well, we have a question in here, but before we can answer the question, we need to organize our data into a line plot. So let's see, we have canaries, pigeons, and egrets. And on our line plot to the right here, you can see we have canaries, pigeons, and egrets. So let's use an X to represent 1 this time. So X equals 1. So that means that canaries will get 1, 2, 3, 4. Pigeons will get 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Kind of went off my chart there a little bit. And egrets will get 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now that we've made a graph, let's see if we can answer the question. The question says, how many more times did Nathan see pigeons compared to canaries? So how many more tells me that I need to subtract. So he saw 12 pigeons and 4 canaries. So we need to subtract to find how many more he saw. I'll leave you to finish this question on your own in your digital math notebook. You're almost finished. When you feel comfortable with this lesson and your digital math notebook is complete, complete your exit slip to show your teacher your understanding. Great job!